We really appreciate you joining us tonight for our Trans Pride community reception. Tonight's really a night where we're celebrating our identities, our experiences, we're having some wine and cupcakes, and we're also going to be joined with a very special guest speaker who I'll introduce to you in a second. But I just wanted to say a few words. We've had several events around Pride, and it's one of the most important times of the year because it gives us an opportunity to talk about trans visibility, to talk about the courageousness and resiliency within our community. And, you know, Pride is very much a time of celebration and commemoration. We remember the Stonewall riots, the start of Pride, and back in 1969 when the LGBT community stood up against homophobia and stood up against police brutality. And, you know, trans people were at the forefront of the Stonewall riots, and this is something that we don't always talk about, but it's an important thing to acknowledge at this time of year, every year. So people like Sylvia Rivera, Marsha P. Johnson, they were there at the beginning, and they remained vocal activists around LGBT issues from then on for years and years. We also remember how the murder of Declan Flynn in 1992 in Fairview Park led to the first march and first parade in 1983. So it's really a moment of commemoration, but also a moment of celebration. Because many decades later, we're still talking and still combating homophobia and transphobia in Irish society and globally. But we're also celebrating how far we've come. Despite the many challenges facing our community, we're emerging as a force to be reckoned with. We are becoming more visible, more outspoken, and stronger. We are joining with our friends and allies, many of whom are here tonight, to ensure that trans lives are not just respected, but actually honored as well. Most of you probably saw that just last month, Time magazine had the first transgender person on the cover, Laverne Cox, who's an actress and also star of the hit program Orange is the New Black. And the headline read, "The transgender tipping point," and they're right. There's a real critical mass at the moment around trans rights, and trans activists and advocates are speaking out alongside their friends and allies, and change is coming. So we are a diverse community with many role models, from well-known people like Dr. Lydia Foy, who've been very visible in the media, to all of the people, the new voices and new faces who have graced the media channels recently, who have spoken out about transphobia, and who are talking about injustice and rights. And so not everybody needs to live a visible life, but we all must have the opportunity to live authentically.